As we mentioned, President Biden is pushing back against calls for him to drop out of the 2024 presidential race. And last night, a letter from the president's doctor was released in an effort to explain why a Parkinson's expert visited the White House 8 times from last summer through this spring. CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Correspondent joins us from the White House. Nancy, what did the letter say, and did it answer all the reporters' questions from that testy briefing yesterday?
The letter basically said, Lindsay, that this neurologist, who is a movement disorder specialist, a Parkinson's specialist, he came to the White House 8 times, but not because of President Biden, because he has been coming to the White House for 12 years to care for a variety of individuals at the White House medical unit. And he said, furthermore, that while President Biden did get examined by this doctor, Dr. Kevin Kennard, as part of his annual physical, that President Biden has not had any neurological exams, hasn't seen a neurologist outside of his annual physical. So that pretty much laid to rest any questions about this particular doctor, Dr. Kevin Kennard. And then, of course, in the White House briefing, the White House press secretary went a step further, saying the president has not been diagnosed with Parkinson's, which is a question that many people have, and he is not being treated with any medications for Parkinson's. So the White House argues that at least as far as this is concerned, the case is closed, although they recognize that people still have a lot of questions about what exactly they witnessed at the debate stage nearly 2 weeks ago.
This could have been cleared up yesterday. In the briefing, she kind of danced around it. She said there are hundreds of military personnel who work on site who get treated by these physicians. I mean, did it surprise you that there wasn't more detail in the briefing that could have put all this to rest?
I was a little surprised because it was obvious that this was going to come up. It had appeared in a number of publications, and White House officials were getting questions from reporters off camera about what the situation was. The press secretary initially came out and perhaps thought she could quell those questions by saying we don't want to reveal the names of any doctors because they have privacy concerns, to which reporters countered, but this doctor is already in the public record. He's right there in the White House visitors log. Why can't you tell us whether he or any other neurologist examined the president here at the White House? And that's why about 10 hours later, we did get this letter from the president's doctor, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, saying that he had obtained permission from the president and from this doctor, Dr. Kennard, to confirm the details that he shared with the public.
Let's talk about the NATO summit happening today, because Karine Jean-Pierre said in the briefing yesterday there's no need to reassure allies about whether the president can do the job. But take a look at some of these headlines. How much scrutiny will he be under?
He'll be under a lot of scrutiny, not just from these leaders, but also from the public and certainly from members of Congress who are watching to see how he does. He's giving a major address to world leaders later today. But he'll also probably face a lot of questions in smaller meetings with these world leaders who, after all, have gotten to know him quite well over the past 4 years. Questions about whether he truly is going to stay in the race. I think the questions about his health are one thing, but, I think also questions about whether he is the leader that they'll be dealing with in the next few months and years. And they may want private reassurance that he does, in fact, plan to stay in the race, and that he has the fire in the belly to do this job for the next 4 years, because, more than anything else, what these NATO leaders often say is that they like certainty, and they like all of the NATO allies to be on the same page. That's what they have right now, and certainly they'd be concerned about changes to that in the future.
Nancy Cordes, thank you.